Yes, she should be. I do believe that she should be forgiven. I don't think she should be thrown under the bus. But until the Olympics come out and say, hey, we are not testing for this specific thing anymore, these are the breaks, y'all. These, unfortunately, are the breaks.
PASCAL.
Situation that has happened with now the fastest woman alive, and her name is Sha'Carri Richardson. And this is, like I said, this is not good, in my personal opinion. U.S. sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson has apologized to fans and is accepting responsibility for the failed drug test and subsequent 30-day ban that will keep her out of the 100-meter dash at the Tokyo Games, but says that she only used marijuana to help cope with the death of her mother before the Olympic trials in Oregon. She says, I just say, don't judge me because I am human. She told the NBC's Today on Friday, I'm you. I just happen to run a little bit faster. All right. Richardson, 21. All right. She's 21, y'all. Let's continue. Sorry. 21. Fastest woman alive right now. All right. In the 100-meter dash. All right. Explained that she learned about her mother's passing from a reporter's question during an interview days before she established herself as a gold medal contender by winning the 100-meter dash in 10.86 seconds at the U.S. Olympic trials in Eugene, Oregon on June 19th. Now, we've all seen that viral video, right? Where she just killed it. I mean, she goes into that 5th, 6th, 7th, I don't even know, the umpteenth gear and just blasts through, right? And becomes one of the fastest women alive, right? Afterwards, in an emotional panic, Richard said she ingested marijuana, leading to the failed drug test that was revealed after her 100-meter win. All right. I knew I was having an interview, she said Friday. I was just thinking it would be a normal interview. And then to hear that information come from a complete stranger, it was definitely triggering. It was nerve shocking because it's just like, how are you to tell me that? And no nonsense against him at all. No offense against him at all. He was just doing his job. But definitely that put me in a state of mind, in a state of emotional panic, if anything. All right. So, but Richardson is not using her mother's death to excuse her decision. Marijuana is legal. Marijuana is legal in Oregon. So she didn't break any law, but she didn't know the potential consequences of using this drug. Now, we do have a clip of her getting interviewed on the Today Show, and I feel like we should take a look at this clip and see let's hear from the horse's mouth herself. All right, let's take a listen.
8:13 now with the stunning news tied to the Tokyo Olympics that we've been following all morning, Savannah.
Yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson, the U.S. women's 100-meter champion who dominated at the Olympic trials, has tested positive for marijuana following that race. And this morning, that has put her Olympic future in doubt. Sha'Carri's going to be with us for an exclusive live interview just ahead.
But first, more on Richardson's remarkable journey that's drawn her comparisons to the legendary FloJo and what could be a stunning disappointment for an athlete who's won the hearts of millions.
With a blazing time and standout style, Sha'Carri Richardson recently punched her ticket to Tokyo.
Richardson's going to Tokyo!
Unbelievable. The fact that I am an Olympian, no matter what is said or anything, I am an Olympian.
At the Olympic trials, the 21-year-old Dallas native won the 100-meter dash in a blazing 10.86 seconds, making her the fastest woman in America. But now it appears her Olympic dreams may have been put on hold. A U.S. Olympic source telling NBC News she failed a drug test after her finals win, testing positive for THC, the chemical found in marijuana. According to her lawyers, Sha'Carri has been suspended from the Olympic team.
Her failed drug test, Richardson tweeted yesterday, "I am human." Savannah.
Chanel, thank you. And Sha'Carri Richardson joins us now. Good morning, Sha'Carri. I just want to ask a simple question first. How are you doing?
I'm blessed to be alive. That's about it.
This is not easy. This is a hard moment that you're in right now. And I thank you for being on. And I know you wanted to tell your story. So tell me, what happened? What led up to this positive test?
Just honestly, I want to take responsibility for my actions. I know what I did. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm allowed not to do, and I still made that decision. But not making an excuse or looking for any empathy in my case, but just, however, being in that position of my life, finding out something like that, something that I would say is probably one of the biggest things that have impacted me positively and negatively in my life when it comes to dealing with the relationship I have with my mother. So that definitely was a very heavy topic on me, and people don't understand what it's like to have to, or people do. We all have our different struggles. We all have our different things we deal with. But to put on a face, to have to go in front of the world and put on a face and hide my pain, I don't know, who are you, or who am I to tell you how to cope?
Okay, so real quick, of course I have to break it up. You know what I'm saying? Because of things. But real quick, the only thing I can say right here that would to oppose this situation is that you have one of the biggest opportunities to be on this platform, right? To be in the forefront and to change your life and your family's life entirely, right? Now, I get it that it's legal, okay? And it is not a PED. It is not a performance-enhancing drug. But if you're going to compete in some place where they take this kind of stuff very seriously, I understand the death of a mother or death of a loved one can really rock your world, right? But in my mind I go, yes, you can you could find other ways to mourn your mother, but you can also mourn your mother and still be able to compete, right? And do it in her honor if you know that this is something that is going to be, that could destroy your chances. You see what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm just playing devil's advocate, all right? In my mind, I'm going, if you have an opportunity to be an Olympic athlete, you on the box of Wheaties. Do they do athletes on Wheaties anymore? I don't even know because I don't eat Wheaties. But you know what I'm saying.
Haven't seen it in years.
You know what I'm saying? But endorsements, opportunities. You could be that next boom. You know what I'm saying? That next thing. Black girl magic, all that stuff. In my personal opinion, I would sacrifice everything to make sure I get to the Olympics and destroy that ish. And then I would go and ingest some marijuana. You see what I'm saying? Then I'd go and party. You see what I'm saying? But that's just me. Now I'm just playing devil's advocate because I don't think that it's a performance-enhancing drug, a PED. I do not believe it is. But I think if you're at the risk of losing everything that you've worked for, that's something that you just put down and just wait. Do the thing, run, nail it, get the gold, and then go party, right? But she is young. She is very young. Let me continue.
When you're dealing with a pain or you're dealing with a struggle that you've never experienced before or that you've never thought you would have to deal with. Like, who am I to tell you how to cope? Who am I to tell you that you're wrong for hurting? So I think just honestly, just leading up to that, dealing with my mental health, dealing with my mental as is with leading up to the games. Every time stepping on the track, definitely expected to be a record-breaking time or something like that. So just with that, pressure in itself was also just another thing. With this actually been my first full professional career, my first full professional circuit this year due to the pandemic. So just considering all of that put together, long time, my agent, my sponsor, my sponsorship, my family, knowing we dealing with all of this stuff. So,
Sha'Carri, I just want people to understand where you're coming from, and tell me if this is correct. But it was a few days before your big race in the trials, you found out that your biological mother had passed away. You found out when a reporter told you, and it was after that you ingested some kind of marijuana. I should mention, you were in Oregon. It's legal in Oregon. You didn't violate any law, but it was against the rules of your sport, and as you said, you knew that. But is that what happened? Is that how this unfolded?
Honestly, yes, that is the story. I had an interview scheduled with my agent. I knew I was having an interview. I knew going into the interview, I was just thinking it would be a normal interview, and then on the interview to hear that information come from a complete stranger was definitely triggering, was definitely nerve shocking, because it's just like, how are you to tell me that? Like, it's like, and no offense against him at all. He's just doing his job, but definitely that sent me in a state of mind, in a state of emotional panic, if anything. And still knowing that even though I'm here, I still have to go out and put on a performance for my dream, go out there and still compete to what it is. So yes, definitely triggered, and from there just blinded by emotions, blinded by sadness, blinded by just hiding hurt, honestly. For the fact that I know that I can't hide myself, so at least in some type of way I was just trying to hide my pain.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I understand that whatever she's going through is a terrible thing. I mean, that's terrible. Losing a loved one is a terrible thing. And yes, when you are coping, when you are dealing with that pain, you're going to do everything you can to cope with that pain, right? And she probably thought in her mind, hey, I'm in Oregon. This ish is legal. Let's go. F it, right? Now, yeah, man, it's just, like I said, it's just a sad situation. Yes, I agree. I do think that, yes, it was a poor choice. They shouldn't bury her for this, though. They shouldn't. How many other athletes out here that use marijuana or some sort of THC for, or some sort of cannabis type of ointment or type of thing for their bodies? I know there's, or it's like CBD, that kind of thing. People use this for various things, not only just because being upset and sad over losing a loved one, right? People do use this recreationally. People use it to soothe their pains. She's an athlete. I'm sure she uses all types of ointments and stuff to rub onto her aching muscles. You know what I'm saying? That stuff works, by the way. Y'all, my God, I've been using this. Roy Jones Jr. Gave me a thing of this CBD ointment that's his, and this thing is fire. Anytime I have a sore muscle, I'll just rub it on there, and it's phenomenal. So there's a lot of benefits towards it. I just keep thinking it's not a performance enhancing drug, and they're using this and trying to throw her out in the front like this, and trying to bury her like she's like some drug addict when she's not. Let's continue.
The Olympic officials, the U.S. track and field, the anti-doping agencies now have a decision before them.
Which is trash.
Will not be able to compete in the Olympics in your race, your individual race, 100 meters.
Hold on.
Unfortunately, you will not be able to compete in the Olympics in your race, your individual race, 100 meters. But there is a chance. It's a small chance, but there's a chance you could go to the Olympics and take part in the relay. Are you hopeful for that? Is that what you're holding out hope for at this moment?
Right now, I'm just putting all of my time and energy into dealing with what I need to deal with to heal myself. So if I'm allowed to receive that blessing, then I'm grateful for it. But if not right now, I'm going to just focus on myself.
You know, what would your message be to those who are considering that right now, who are thinking about that, and to your fans, you know, who have fallen in love with you and were so proud of your performance and maybe crushed just as you are in that moment? What would you want to say to them?
I would like to say to my fans and my family, to my sponsorship, to the haters too. I apologize as much as I'm disappointed. I know that when I swim on the track, I don't represent myself. I represent a community that has shown me great support, great love. And to y'all, I failed y'all. And so I apologize for the fact that I didn't know how to control my emotions or deal with my emotions during that time. And when I would just leave with my fans, or I would just leave out there, is that, like I tweeted and said yesterday, I'm human. We're human. My statement, what I always say in my interviews, I want to be as transparent as possible with you guys, whether it's good, whether it's bad. But when it comes to Sha'Carri Richardson, it's never been a steroid. It will never be a steroid attached to the name Sha'Carri Richardson.
Facts.
Charge and what the situation was marijuana. I'm not encouraging anybody to do it. I'm not saying, oh, don't do it or anything like that. But if you choose to do things in your personal time or things like that, you just should know or be aware of the consequences, or just know, or just find different ways to just cope or do what it is that will make you feel better. But sitting here, I just say, don't judge me. Because I am human. I'm you. I just happen to run a little faster. I understand there's going to be people that still have something to say that don't necessarily understand. And I wouldn't even call them haters if they want to choose to show their character of a person, even after me saying what I've said, and putting myself out there. Then that's just on you, your character, and you have to live with that. But I greatly appreciate being able to tell my side of the story. And like I said, to my fans, my family, my sponsorship, and the haters, I greatly apologize if I let you guys down, and I did. And I just want to let y'all know this will be the last time the Olympics don't cheat Sha'Carri Richardson, and this will be the last time the U.S. Doesn't come home with a gold medal in 100. And I feel
Sha'Carri, before I let you go, I think about you and the highs and lows that you've had to deal with, and your dream came true. You dazzled everybody with your performance, but also your words, your hug for your grandma. You've been through so much, and we'll see what happens and what this decision is. But do you plan to keep running? Are you going to keep those Olympic dreams alive no matter what?
What kind of question is that?
Yes. This is just one game. I'm 21. I'm very young. Unlike most, I have plenty of games left in me to compete in, and I have plenty of talent that backs me up, because everything I do comes from me naturally. No steroid, no anything. This incident was about marijuana. So after my sanction is up, I'll be back and able to compete, and every single time I step on the track, I'll be ready for whatever anti-doping agency to come and get what it is that they need, because this will never happen.
Sha'Carri Richardson, this is, as I said before, not easy, not an easy moment, but you showed a lot of grace and courage to come on and answer those questions, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Okay, so as we already know, obviously, she kind of like repeated herself a bunch in that particular conversation. Let's keep it straight funky. But I mean, what else is she supposed to say? You know, when it comes to this situation, what else is she supposed to say? She said exactly what she needed to say. She said, "Hey, you guys can come over and test me for everything under the sun, and you will find nothing else. You know, I'm not doping. I'm not doing any performance enhancing drugs, PEDs. I'm not doing any steroids, etc. I'm not doing anything. The only thing that was in my system was the marijuana. Okay, that was it. Just some THC. That's it." And my mom passed. Was very upset. You know what I'm saying? I reacted in a way because I was upset, and boom, I ingested some like probably a brownie or whatever, a cookie, to relax, to mourn my mother's death, and keep it moving, right? And obviously this story is heartbreaking, really. Because she's going to have to wait another 4 years to get an opportunity to do this all over again. Not saying that she can't do it again in 4 years, but at the same time, she, I'm sure, wanted to do this run and this race in her mother's honor, right? Probably that was the main focus and the main goal was to be there for and perform specifically for her mother, in her mother's honor. Going, hey, I'm going to get this gold. I'm going to go home. I'm going to bring home the gold from my mama. But she ended up ingesting that Mary Jane. So here's the thing. She messed up. She's 21 years old. She's young. She messed up. But it's not a performance enhancing drug. And I get it that the Olympics, the officials, the committee, whatever it may be, probably looks at those kind of things. Obviously, they have rules, right? And when you break those rules, I mean, obviously they're cutthroat. Not the whole world, by the way, has legalized marijuana. Let's just say that too. Let's be completely honest here. Only certain states in this country and certain countries have made it legal, right? Have legalized recreational use of marijuana, all right? That does not mean that the Olympics is up to date on what's okay and what's not okay. You see what I'm saying? So back in the day, let's talk about Michael Phelps real quick. Michael Phelps was found, they found marijuana in his system as well. And I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't know if he was about to perform or if it was after he performed in the Olympics, but he got thrown under the bus as well. He didn't get any of his medals stripped from him, but those things were not found until after he performed. Right? And it was for
8 months.
Go ahead.
8 months after the Olympics, he was caught using marijuana. So although it wasn't before an event, so they couldn't do anything about his medals, but he did lose sponsorships. He was suspended for 3 months. So he did face some backlash. He did.
Okay, and he did definitely face some backlash. I remember, he was like, he lost endorsements. They took him off a box of Wheaties. Like he was, you know what I mean? He had a lot of stuff set up for him, and he could not do anything. You know what I mean? Lady Justice just said something. She said, I think you need to read up on how weed can be performance enhancing. It doesn't mean it was in this situation, but that is foolish to say it isn't research. It isn't research suggests otherwise in some cases. Okay, I mean, and that's fine if it really is considered if it can be put into that category of a PED, then okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? Phone lines are not open yet, y'all. Phone lines are not open yet. I will let you know when the phone lines are open, okay? Phone lines are not open. I repeat, are not open. Let's get this conversation going first, and then I will open up the phone lines. I promise. Okay, so fine. That's fine. That's totally fine on that case. You know what I'm saying? That's totally fine on that case. Hold on real quick. I need to turn this off because people are trying to call in. And the phone lines are not open yet. All right. Hopefully that does what it needs to do. All right. So, okay, given the fact that we don't know, like, hey, if there are studies of it being a performance enhancing drug, then that's news to me. Honestly, I've never seen. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know anybody who goes and gets stoned and then goes and works out, or goes and gets stoned and tries to do CrossFit games or something like that. To me, it just doesn't seem like it would be considered a PED. But hey, I have not. It's not like I've looked those things up and done the research on, is weed a performance enhancing drug? No, I haven't done that. But I know that it is not, in my personal opinion, I don't think it is. It's a recreational drug. You know, it's a recreational thing that you use to relax and all that other stuff. You know, gives you the munchies, all that stuff. It does all this other stuff. Okay.
So
go ahead.
Real quick, I just Googled it. It's a claim. I'm not sure how much is backed by studies, but it says that cannabis use can alter the amount of oxygen a person can have in their body at a given time, and that may qualify as performance enhancing. So, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
now
substantiated or not.
Yeah.
But you know, that's what they have on the USADA.org website about, you know, it's a possible chance of enhancing some performance, but I don't think it would be anything that would even compare to a real PED or steroid.
You know, when it comes to the whole idea of it being a PED, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of a stretch. That's just my personal opinion. I want to see the Carfax. Like, I really want to see the Carfax, because if that's the case, then shoot. Some of these stoners better be the most ripped mother lovers on this planet. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? If it's going to be PED like that. But, you know, obviously that's a joke. But what I'm trying to say is, she took marijuana. Yes, she messed up. She made a mistake. Does that mean that she should be thrown under the bus? Does that mean that she should be denied being able to go and perform at the Olympics this year, you know, in Tokyo? To me, I think this. Unfortunately, these are the rules. I don't think it's fair, but those are the rules. And I think that any other person that took that drug before or after, you know, during the Olympics or whatever, I feel like they would have still been stripped of their medals, denied to be able to compete, etc. One thing I think in my head, and I said it earlier, when you have an opportunity, you know, you got that one shot, you know what I mean? Mom spaghetti, right? You work your ass off years and years. You got 21 years from the day you were born. I'm sure she was running and doing all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Training, put all this time and effort into things. You have this one opportunity to finally get out there and achieve something that you never thought you'd ever be able to achieve. And you go and you eat a pot cookie or a pot brownie. That is literally your decision. You've destroyed any opportunity that you have to go into the Olympics. They're not going to look at you and go, I will give you an exception. You're the exception to the rule. No, they're going to sit there and go, no, these rules apply to every single athlete all over the world. I don't think she's a bad person, but I think she messed up. Yes, weed is not, I don't think, is a performance enhancing drug. I really don't think it is. But if it's in the rules, then that's what it is. I mean, unless they go and they get together and they figure out, okay, we're not going to test for THC anymore. Like the NBA, they don't test for THC anymore. They don't test for marijuana anymore. but they haven't made that decision yet. So unfortunately, this is what it is for now until they make that decision to do what they need to do. You see what I'm saying? A lady said this girl could have been near doing something to herself when she did that. That weed could have saved her life. There's no compassion for this sister at all. No, there's absolutely compassion for this sister. Absolutely. But I feel like there's other things. I understand that, you know, when you lose a loved one, yeah, people will drown themselves in alcohol. They will drown themselves in junk food. They will drown themselves in really, really unhealthy habits when they're unhappy, right? But when you have a situation like this, and you have a big moment that could change your entire life and your family's life, there's certain pieces of sacrifice that you've been doing all that time. Ingesting marijuana, probably not the greatest idea if you know for a fact that it's shunned, that it's frowned upon in the organization or in the committee or in the games that you're about to go and do. You got an opportunity you got that golden ticket. And if you win, because she just became the fastest woman in the 100-meter dash. Fastest woman. She has a golden ticket to millions of dollars. Millions. You don't think that person's going to go, wait a second, if I eat this could ruin my whole chances of making my dreams come true. I'm going to put the cookie down. I'm good. I'm unhappy. I'll talk to my friends. I'll drink a beer. I'll take a few shots, something, you know what I'm saying, to calm my nerves, right? But smoking some weed or eating it, whatever it is, you're screwing it up. You know what I mean?
That's a really good point.
I'm just saying,
that you're making.
Golden ticket, baby. You got, like, this could change your whole entire life. Your whole future is right there. You could change everything for yourself, for your family. And she had a hard upbringing, from my understanding. She had a hard upbringing. She's doing everything from what she's doing, from running. You know what I mean? So all I'm trying to say is, like, I'm not trying to throw her under the bus. People make mistakes. She will be able to compete. You know what I'm saying? She will be able to compete in the near future, in the next 4 years. It's not like they just said she's banned for life. But hopefully this makes her wake up a little bit. But T, I'm sorry, I've been taking over a lot of the line. Let me hear your thoughts on this, bruh.
It's all good. This is a passionate, topic. It really is.
It's tough.
I understand.
You know?
I understand.
Because I'm for her. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm not trying to throw this sister under the bus. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for my people all day long. But at the same time, if you take something that you know is frowned upon, you don't take it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, to address a few things in the chat, I have been reading over a few things. To go over real quick the banned substances for the Olympics, the obvious ones are anabolic agents, including steroids, any kind of hormones or growth drugs, something called beta-2 agonists, any hormones or metabolic modulators, something called diuretics or masking agents. And then, like, the ones, like, we talked about in the chat were, like how about caffeine? How about tobacco, alcohol? Yes. So other prohibited things that you can't take is stimulants, narcotics, alcohol, cannabis, anti-inflammatory drugs, any beta blockers. Just recently, I think between 1982 and 1994, even high doses of caffeine were considered a banned substance. So even coffee was really regulated as well, so we couldn't drink lots of coffee. But now you can, in a way, so it's tough. For her, unfortunately, I'm thinking about what you were saying about, like, how could she go and blow this chance? Think about the company that's around her, her agents and her team, whoever she's with should have been keeping her out of harm's way. It's like
full
having
court press.
Yeah, it's like having a star athlete in another sport, just like when it was take care of the whole neighborhood when they get back, or maybe like an entertainer. Whoever's around you has to stop you from getting those drugs and alcohol, narcotics, and so forth, because you are the golden ticket. You are the future for everybody, not just yourself. So knowing her mom did pass away, she should have had around the clock, support like Amy Winehouse. She unfortunately died from overdosing. Things like that. You got to have people in your corner that's going to back you up and support you at your worst times. Not your best times, but the worst times is what really, really matters. And having those real friends and real family by your side. Unfortunately, she did fail herself, but also her team, her support system also failed her as well. Because marijuana, or I'm not sure how she took it, whether it was a edible or a joint, but they should have been monitoring her intake, especially right now on the biggest stage of her life. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Chuck Diesel just said, ask yourself, why was she living with her grandmother? No one knows what her upbringing was like. Then she received the news that her mother passed from a reporter. How would that affect you? Now, yeah, that would mess me up. That would definitely mess me up. Absolutely. But at the same time, I completely 110% agree with what T just said. Then your team, who's been training you since God knows how long, who has helped you get to where you've been, where you are right now, which is the fastest 100-meter runner ever, right? Fastest woman. Those guys, not only just yourself, but they have to be on point with you too. They have to watch you too. Full court press. Man on man, literally watching your every move. How you doing, girl? You doing all right? You know what? Actually, you just stay over here with us. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. We are here to console you. We are here to be here for you. We are family. We train together. We eat together. You know what I'm saying? We mourn together. We got you. But somehow, I don't know what happened, but she was able to slip through the fingers of her trainers and of her coaches and everything, and was able to go in. Of course, she's going to go and mourn. And I understand that piece. But like I keep saying, when you have an opportunity right there, and it all rests on your performance and them running tests on you to make sure you don't have anything illegal in your body, or what they consider illegal. Let's just be real. This moment, it was a messed up moment. Yes, she should be. I do believe that she should be forgiven. I don't think she should be thrown under the bus. But until the Olympics come out and say, hey, we are not testing for this specific thing anymore, these are the breaks, y'all. These, unfortunately, are the breaks. I didn't write it. I didn't write the rules. You know what I'm saying?
The good thing is that she's not banned from the Olympics. They said that she just cannot compete in a 100-meter race. Yeah. Because she had qualified for that race, and that she supposedly her test results before the race just came out or whatever, and said that she had THC in her blood. So that's why she's being disqualified from that actual race. Now, if she does do something else, like at 200 meters, or maybe some kind of triple jump or long jump, maybe she can still compete, but just not in the actual race.
Yeah. So she can still,
hopefully.
Yeah. So she can still compete on. She could still compete, but she just can't do the 100-meter.
Yeah. If they're still having, I know they're still doing qualifying trials for other things.
Right. For other things.
She would have to get into those, competitions to qualify though as well.
Yeah.